No, it has already been debunked.
We won't be broken hypocrites forever. Brought to you by the San
Another
Andreas.
one of his stories.
You can cancel that gym membership because Fat Chips have all the crunches you need. Finally, snacks have gotten healthy. We've taken the humble but deadly potato chip and taken away a whole lot of fat.
What do you mean
And
by
all you
upload on
need
some
is
point?
one more
Listen,
confused.
it's not about the same event, and it's not every civilization either. Now, um, you have quite a few different groups of people that have written stories about flood. However, however, all of these stories date to a different time in history, right? They're not referring to one singular event, and and some of these stories are written hundreds or even thousands of years apart, so they could not be talking about the same thing. And usually, these stories are based on regional floods. Like when the Egyptians have flood stories, that's talking about the River Nile flooding. When you hear about floods in Canaanite and Israelite stories or in Mesopotamian stories, these are about regional floods because that region is known for having very
There was a time where Egypt had water.
There was a time when there was floods and great thunderstorms in that region. In Canaan, in a region in Canaan, it's known to have some of the most devastating thunderstorms on the planet. Hence why you see a lot of flood stories in the ancient Near East.
So why not any longer if they're in the same spots that they've been in for thousands of years? Why not any more rain? What happened?
As you said, this is really naturally. But
That's a question right there. That's a tough one. He's like, I don't even
no,
know, dude.
no, no, no. It's not a tough question. There are videos on YouTube that shows what the storms that happen in that region is like. We have new guests that we want to see.
Oh yeah, Addie. Hey,
I'm sorry, can I say something really quick before the news?
please, Yolanda.
I'm trolling on the ATS lives. I'm gonna be using this guy uh, points about it being a flood so that I can go and troll because we're not taking you serious. Anyhow, welcome the new guest. Thank you.
Yes, you are taking this serious. That's why you mentioned it.
So, yeah, so Shane, are you there?
Hey, what's up, King?
Yes.
Hi, Shane.
Listen, hi, everybody. Good night. Blessings, Eddie. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to touch on each of the topics from the prompt. I'll be really quick, really short. So spirituality is a scam. I don't necessarily choose to have an agenda in the right way. I do believe there are some Christians can use that narrative. Right? So the spirituality, the way how I understand it, is like a deep personal exploration, certain meaning, connection, or purpose. Especially when it comes on to something or someone divine in nature, right? Um, it it's searching for something greater than oneself or looking for something great within oneself. It's either, right? And it's something that can be practiced by just a single person. You don't without the influence of another individual or organization. People can practice spirituality on their own. People can discover it on their own.
Self explanatory is the truth. Literally born with the truth. It's just that you was taught.
How are we gonna save our house? But master, since the last DVD got edited by censors in the West, we don't sell so
Taught to
many.
be a
No
liar.
more merchandising. No more Princess Robot bubblegum dolls, or pencil cases, or rulers, or
Taught to
glow
be a
up
liar.
pens, or love balls, or erotic massage oils, or all the other creepy shit you've sunk all our money into.
Sometimes the path is not straight, but is still true. Oh, I like that line. I like that. Maybe I sell it on a bumper sticker. Anyway, the path of truth is
The
still
make
the path
believe
of merchandising.
nonsense.
Personal merchandising. Merch, merch, merch. I never knew you worked in marketing. Oh, it's easy. Any fool with half an MBA can do it.
stops you from using common sense. The common sense you're born with.
You please horny men one after the other. They will be standing in line for a chance at you, and we can charge them $20 a pop.
Master, I won't be a massage girl.
No, stupid bitch. We go to comic
With
convention. You sign an autograph, and we sell some more action figures. We rebrand the erotic oil as a personal usage erotic
the
oil
truth
for
makes
lonely
sense for
lover.
true change.
The branded socks to clean yourself up with afterwards. You know, it's prostitution of a different kind, but legal.
Because as soon as you go back to using common sense, shit will change.
My loins ache.
Oh, this is so exciting. Never in my years of being a blind androgynous child with
Change.
a huge sword could I have imagined such wonders.
Yes, truly the script writers have reached new heights. Time for an incongruous
Because of the
but
make believe
arousing
nonsense,
fight.
common sense is just not common. Not common.
She's too that could also evolve. So do we have records of them as well? You understand?
Wait, I really want to know.
I'm coming. If you look at the biology of of human beings are the most vulnerable species on this earth as per infants. When you have a baby, it's vulnerable till he or she is about 7. Whereas every other animal, from the maximum 30 minutes after birth, they start recognizing that there is a threat, there is need for them to quickly feed, run, see. You understand? So how do we justify this? Not based on only the fact that we look like monkeys and apes, and that there is a big bang that comes. So does it only affect humans or it affects other species? Fine, we say there are publishes from scientists and scholars. They are also humans. What other basis do they have? We have the human
Let's talk
DNA
about all
that is similar to this species DNA.
If I shit on the floor,
Also, does our DNA is similar to some species in the sea as well? So do we say that we also migrate from the sea? And don't forget that as an infant, as a fetus in your baby, in your mother's womb as well, you live in a water sack. You're also breathing. Either ways God made it, or either ways nature made it that way. So are we looking at all those things before we bring our premise to this conclusion that evolution is true? I don't believe it. I believe human beings were created into this environment to work a particular function. The creation might be from external or from internal. Maybe it was created from outside and brought in to this earth, or was created on this earth. But it
everything
was a
else is
specific
outside. But everything
specific
else is
design
our ideas.
that was created. We cannot,
Everything else created on the
I won't say
outside
we cannot, but
because
it's
it's
so
created by
absurd to believe
our ideas.
that we
You was
evolve.
created
As a
first
matter of
into
fact,
being.
I
We
of
thought,
a personal
mind,
opinion
matter,
believe that we are
and then
evolving.
everything else was
We are no more
created.
evolved.
If I can say that you have 5 topics going on right now, okay? And you yourself don't even understand the 5 topics that you have going on, okay? You have the belief topic, you have the creation topic, you have the Big Bang topic, you went to evolution, okay? You got 5 topics going on there right now, okay? You yourself.
Spirituality. Hello.
One second, I had to mute you because you were talking over me. So 5 topics going on right now that you yourself don't even.
overtly sexy, but also tough and good at fighting, just like every
That man might be trying to get to a point.
Oh, she want a larger cut of residuals. I tell her you are just like my last boy
One
band.
person up here talking about creation. I want you to tell me that you actually believe that you were created from dirt.
Come on, Humpy.
Okay, you can unmute yourself and you can tell me.
Listen up, listen. You listening? Okay. Let's do something.
I send you an invite to unmute.
Get the mic on the show again. Is what we gonna do.
Yolanda, it will be unfair for me to tell you that I was created from earth because I know my parents. Now, if you are, like I've said, if you are talking about
How about you come on
Man,
my show? I'll give you 5%.
the truth is the truth.
Stop that! Speak to women.
No, it's not. This is great. It's art.
Your parents didn't plan for you.
It's not demeaning. You subvert the cliches.
I am the cliches. Look at me.
Bitch fight!
You didn't plan for you. But the truth is in you to know better right now.
Cowgirl Cherry Bomb Sparkle!
Smiley cheesecake party time shocker.
Because your past and your future is your now. Because your past and your future is your now.
Too horny to fight cliche.
Stop! Why? You've stolen
Because there's no such thing as here today, gone tomorrow.
I'm going to lose my house.
Because there's no such thing as here today, gone tomorrow.
Fucking haul back. Stop crying and start fighting. Take your clothes off.
Stop indulging them. Watch this. It's just as much fun.
Wait, whoa.
You try.
As here,
Oh, that felt liberating, right?
What's happening? I love you, Princess Robot Bubblegum.
Wow, that was awesome! But we'll still lose the house, and now we have no fans left. I'm sorry, Master.
and y'all have an open spot, but they won't let me in.
The whole thing on my smartphone. Put behind paywall. Make episodic. All merchandising.
Merchandising! And subverting all the cliches.
Now, if I could get you two to maybe,
Hello.
kiss or delicately fondle each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even not so delicate.
how we doing today, man?
What's this?
This is Jack Rodriguero speaking. That's how we're doing tonight.
Speaking from who for you?
So I was just getting back to you. I saw you filled out my little IUL form, the Index Universal Life, just requested some information on it.
Man,
What your goal down is hide and save some money. Is
no,
that correct, John?
no, man, that was a long time ago. Just about your 4th time calling me, bro.
My full-time calling?
Yeah. Somebody from the same LOL, from the same number.
Well, I'm a Texas broker here for life insurance. So, are you looking into hiding and saving some money?
No. Like I said again, I told them no, and I'm telling you no, and just get my name off y'all list if y'all got one. Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll get some.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, singing plain ass bitch. How I learned.
When my dad
Convenience
had
of the store.
The functionality of it.
Santos Hospital, I was
Okay.
so scared.
I believe the store is displayed to our understanding of morality, knowing what is right from wrong.
Heart attacks won't kill you.
There's no,
So you would say that
Hospitals will. Take your loved one to Mount Zona Medical
there's
Center.
no understanding
Mount Zona is number 1 in heart attacks, brain hemorrhages,
what
Tourette's,
you need to know.
strokes, hemorrhoids, leprosy, elephantitis, cardiac failure, and loose stools. You have a choice in hospitals, so pick the one with the largest advertising budget.
Because you can't be under someone standing over you, beating something into you that don't make no sense.
Why not do like the rest of American industry?
Because you can't be understanding.
Like going abroad. Implant outsource.
Because you can't be under.
Contestants to exotic
Because you can't be under.
body modification. Pirates love booty. Why not get ass implants in Somalia? Take a relaxing vacation in Mongolia, the land of
The
Genghis Khan.
understanding
Get your
of others.
prostate or a second penis installed in Tijuana. Implant outsource. Mondays on CNT.
Standing over you, beating something into you.
Impotent Rage. straight or gay. Impotent rage. Tax the rich, rob the poor.
That don't make sense to you.
Money offshore. Impotent rage. Get eco awards in a jet plane. We're
That don't make sense to you.
impotent rage. Eat organic, recycle, or I'll have a fit. He's a judgmental hypocrite. Union entitlements rule. Ban God in school. Smack for junkies. Welfare for flunkies.
We all been twisted up with the wordplay.
I just care too much.
Wait,
Right. And for like babies, right? We know that babies, like for example, the only two inherent phobia babies are born with is like height because they don't know how to balance properly and loud sound, right? So we know other than from those involuntary behaviors babies have, for example, otherwise they just want to eat stuff and so forth like that. So there will be no morals there to measure because they they themselves don't even really aware of what they're doing. So how if a newborn in
the instincts, the truth within.
They're trying to fire me for sleeping at my desk.
You were drunk! Well, you would be too. He's just deadening the pain inside. From being trapped as a mediocre punk in the dead-end machine of... But he's the CFO! I said American workers should be able to retire at age 35 and receive health care! And a salary for life on your dime. Otherwise, what's the point? That's impossible! That's not how economics work, don't you understand? I'm extremely rich! I understand how economics work and what the working class needs! They want a six-pack of beer,
The natural
and a
order.
younger girl in their pickup truck, and a depressing folk tune playing on the radio. This here's a free country, boy!
You should always be thinking.
But with thousands of rules and regulations to keep greedy
or
Understanding
but,
of. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
well, yeah, so um many things that we used to like when we were little, right? And we never believed that we could one day grow out these kind of desires or ecstasy within what we find certain pleasure into. When we are big, sometimes it is even the opposite. Is like we could saying, what were we thinking back then? So how would you use like morals in that point of view?
Okay, so just to
for the working man. My work here is done.
right, our understanding, our overall understanding of what is right versus what is wrong changes over time,
You deserve it after all this.
And you want to yes, and you said the soul going change.
Only if you allow someone to change your mind.
Billionaire liberal playboy Braxton Hunter recently celebrated the closing of another highway to install more bike lanes and collective urban farms. Braxton recently returned from a trip to Antarctica on his private
Someone.
jet, where he'd been to accept
Someone
an
to change your mind.
award. Some critics say that Hunter is also the caped superhero Impotent Rage because they look exactly alike and have the same voice, and Impotent Rage tends to show up right after Mr. Hunter quietly sneaks out. He has emphatically denied they are the same person. A hero of the liberal media, others say Hunter is a rich, entitled asshole with
strands, right? What makes us us, and everything pretty much is woven into that particular area of our biology. So for some persons, for most persons, I like to think, we get smarter, we get
Yo, yo.
You've got a bunch of voicemail
Thank you.
messages.
wiser, we have a better understanding, we consume more, so we take on more knowledge. In the case of some persons, they tend to regress, especially as they get
I really love
up
you,
in
Pinkley.
age. On the topic of
I was just eating some
Knowing what love is, I really love you, thinkers.
Oh, do I hate that man? Do I despise him?
Again, this is a topic that I think is very nuanced and
Thank you for thinking about me.
require deeper discussion, more research on my part. I'm not afraid to admit. But yeah, that's pretty much where I stand right now.
If I can
Thank
ask you a
you
personal
for
question,
thinking about me.
Rip my clothes off and thrust
Thank you
myself
for
inside.
thinking about me.
Sometimes I feel like you don't even notice I'm here.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
So I've had some encounters. You call them spiritual encounters, and this is going to kind of get into the realm of me belief and mysticism. No, as most persons would interpret it as. So I don't know how many persons on here. I don't imagine many believe in
Nothing.
spirits or ghosts or demons or anything like that.
Nothing.
But I can
Nothing.
tell you from my
Nothing.
personal experience,
Nothing.
second-hand experience at that, I've experienced. I've gone through these kinds of things, right? And upon realizing that, I
Nothing.
realized that if there's true evil, I'm not talking
Nothing
about the
is
evil of
everything.
man. If there's true spiritual
Nothing
evil in this
is
world,
everything.
there has to be true spiritual good. And in so doing, I gave my life to Christ right then and there, without even understanding, without even knowing anything.
Nothing is everything. That's why you're never supposed to believe.
Became a superhero through the art of self-meditation, yoga, and a freak green energy accident, which gave me unnatural godlike powers. I became impotent rage, 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 rage. Wait, what's that?
What is it?
It's my echo sense going off. That man isn't recycling. Hey, Neanderthal! Do you know what sensory is?
Never.
That soda can, or I'll come down there and teach you a lesson you won't forget in a hurry.
Depression, had a lot of panic attacks.
We don't live in a world of make believe.
Stand being disrespected like this. The fuck she cut.
Braxton, quick, to the anger room.
We live in a world of it makes sense or it don't.
Wow. Oh my God. All this relentless self-righteous pasturing. It's exhausting.
Facts.
It's exhausting. What is it? High-tech device of the future I personally
Question any and everything that don't make sense to you.
Impotent rage, there's some trouble down by the river.
Fascism never sleeps. Violet.
I'm over
Well,
here.
the thing is that I used to love, before giving my life over to Christ, and that's where the sacrifice part. That's basically a shortened version of my testimony. Yeah, that's why I gave my life to Christ.
thank you for sharing, brother. 1 second, Addy. 1 second. Just remember your thought. Yeah. You see, I didn't even know you from a hole in the wall, and I asked you that question, and thank you for being honest to share with us. Because usually, when a person is at their lowest point, and Addy is going to attest to that, he's going to give you more psychological part of that, to say when a person is at their lowest, they cannot give themselves the credit to be able to crawl out of that hole, and that they feel that they need a God or a Jesus or something to come and save them. But brother,
Rumble, young lady, rumble.
it's only you yourself, and those are
Rumble, young lady, rumble. You go, girl.
There are over 8 million
and again with groups like this, with forums such as this, where there's people that is going to be talking, we are the ones to help you, okay? And again, we're not saying, we know you and we're going to come to your house and do all, but it's pretty much talking your stuff through, and that is what is going to help you, okay? And Addie can add more to that. But thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing, and definitely give us a follow so that you can come again and you can hear us talk more about this God and this Jesus, because what you're following is not a good thing. Because you need to read that Bible for yourself, and when you read that Bible for yourself, you're gonna be just like us. Okay? Addy, go ahead.
They, like any half-sentient creature, much
Yeah,
more
y'all hearing me?
Yeah.
spewing out noxious chemicals.
Yeah, man.
Anybody?
Let's all work together to preserve our
Oh,
environment.
thank you for that, Yolanda. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
Addy.
Yeah, we hear you. Speak up.
It's formative experience, right? So it changes you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So maybe the reason you brought that up is because you want to see that it changed your life and changed
Yeah, my life is shit.
helped you
I know better now. I
overcome
know it all already.
whatever it is
But I know
that
better
you were
now.
experiencing. Now, if that is actually true, right? If it is true that whoever you are and whatever you're going through, whenever you accept Jesus and become baptized
Man,
in the name of
fuck
the
that
Father and the
bullshit,
Spirit and the
man.
Holy
That's
Ghost,
bullshit,
your
man.
entire life is going to turn around.
Man. Make believe nonsense. Like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy.
I've had about enough of your Stone Age outrage. You angry conservatives are all pent-up homosexuals yourselves.
Hey, but we're not conservatives, we're protesters. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?
And the Tooth Fairy.
There! That should sort things out for everyone. You just keep on fracking, boys.
Ronald Spurgeon, God, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, and the devil.
And I prove not all closeted rich guys are creepy.
Oh, impotent rage. You're such an ignoramus.
Uberman!
All man-made up bullshit to keep us all stuck on stupid.
Oh, my suit is so fancy. This suit is actually pleasuring me right now. Oh, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Yang! You've worked yourself up into such a liberal lather that you actually
Not knowing better.
These are natural gas wells that pollute the environment, not three old queens into P&P. What? Oh.
Willing participants in our own slavery.
Maybe I'll donate some money to charities. Build a statue of a kid in a wheelchair? That will clear my conscience.
Willing participants in our own slavery.
The common herd needs a genetically superior synthetic fiber-clad sociopath lunatic to look up to. Not a soy latte sipping dweeb with a flaccid... Well, you get the point.
Because we lazy and we're not thinking for ourselves.
Sensitive wetlands. Goodbye, impotent rag. No! I must stop him. To the impotent mobile.
Taught to be lazy.
Initiate solar panel sequence right away.
Programmed not to think for yourself.
Exactly where, but it says God and sin cannot exist. Sin cannot be in God's presence. So it's kind of a double-edged sword where you're trying to get closer to God, but because of the sin that you're still attached to, it makes it an impossibility. So you can't really consider yourself saved. And the reason why it's a transformative experience, right? It's a matter of faith. When you truly surrender, when you truly give your life over to Christ, and this is something that...
Let's talk about something else. It's a billion things to talk about. Listen.
Major places, right? So you can use this product to test the radiation around you, to monitor the radiation.
And after he lived there, he said to give your life over to Christ. I'm sorry, that was the enemy on there. I had to go. But I did more than 30 minutes with him.